It's been a while since we talked like this, right? I feel like April is almost over and it's my month. It's the best month. It's my favorite month. That's what I meant to say. It's because it's my birthday. April 17. I am an Aries and I'm very proud to be an Aries and I identify myself as an Aries and I can always feel another Aries. Speaking of Aries, or speaking of Aries, what's the proper grammar? I don't know. Rocky's also an Aries, and my birthday is April 17. His is April 19. So we celebrated, and something that happened this year was lovely, and that's that my parents came to visit me. My parents came to Miami for the very first time, and even though it took a bit of convincing them to come here, because I don't know how it is with your family, but in my family, it's like you don't travel for fun. You travel when you have to. When my parents were younger, they travel for, I mean, now they're in their 60s, so maybe that's understandable. But when they were younger, they were traveling more than they do now. So it took a bit of convincing that they should come to Miami instead of me going back to Croatia. So we did it. We made it. And they came for 16 days and they loved it. They loved Miami so much. I hope that I can move my whole family here one day. That's my big goal. As an immigrant, that's really difficult. I'm sure every immigrant can relate. Paperwork, visa, green card, citizenship, it's all a work in progress when you immigrate to another country. But yes, that's one of my big goals, to be able to be, first of all, financially well off, that I can take care of them, because I'm not going to have my mom move to the US and then work after she's retired. Absolutely not. So I want to be able to provide them a beautiful life in the US, and I'm working towards that, because there's no greater joy than giving back to the people that gave up so much of their life to create you. And I'm very happy that I have a great relationship with my parents. And there's something that I bought on TikTok Shop. This is the first thing that I bought on TikTok Shop, and it's called, I think the game is called, it's not even a game, it's like a card game where you take out cards and answer questions. I think it's called Tails. I will link it in the show notes. And as I was preparing for my parents' arrival, I saw this thing on TikTok, and this guy, the promotion was about knowing your parents as human beings. I mean, the video, not the promotion. I mean, it's the promotion. It was like knowing your parents as human beings, not just as your mom and dad. And the questions are from their early childhood to their mid-age to their retirement or older age. So in their childhood, there's a bunch of questions like, who was your childhood best friend? How did your parents meet? How was your daily routine like at that time? Where did you go to school? Who was your best, just like, did you have a professor that really impacted your life? And midlife, like, how did you meet your spouse? Where was your first date? How it felt when you found out you were pregnant. Amazing. I was so happy that I bought this game, and it's such a good game to play with anyone. I mean, there's a lot of these games nowadays where you're just like, it's like a conversation starter, but I just loved meeting them on a different level. Also, a lot of people thought that I broke up with Wes, but I didn't, because he was not on all the photos for around my birthday. He went to see his family in Chicago for a bit. It was a nice opportunity for them to hang out. Also, my parents don't speak fluent English, so it would be a bit difficult to just constantly speak on a foreign language, and you want to relax with your daughter, and like, you came to see her, and Wes and I both work from home, so it would just be a lot to handle 4 people under one roof. And in Croatian culture, you sleep with your family, like you stay at their apartment. You don't, oh my god, that sounded so weird. You don't sleep with your family, you go and stay with them, like they host you. You don't stay in a hotel. It's kind of tradition, I don't know. But yeah, they had the best time. We ate so much. I took them to all the fancy restaurants I could think of. And I was just happy to be able to provide this lifestyle for them. I really went above and beyond. And I think they loved it. I do hope they're going to move here one day. We'll see. But yeah, when we were playing this game, Tales, we were just talking about their teenage years and their childhood and all that. And it just made me think about my childhood and my teenage years. And then I realized that I was actually so unhappy. Not unhappy. I was a happy child. I have happy, memories. I have a great family, but I was insecure constantly. Always something about a friend group, always some kind of drama. There was just so much bullshit going around when I was in my teenage years. When I look back, I was just not, I don't know. It was just so hard to be a teenager. So insecure. You don't know what's going on. Rocky? I constantly felt misunderstood, and hence why I moved to a different country on my own. But I felt like I was always chasing friendships and relationships. And I was definitely, in my 20s, I was dating losers. I wasted so much time with people that were not worth my time, or it was just not a match. But then you would stay with somebody in a relationship because you don't want to hurt their feelings and you like feel bad for them. There's nothing worse than dating somebody. How sad does it sound that you're dating somebody because you feel bad for them? You pity them. So that's why you sleep with them? I mean, what the fuck? I see now that hanging out with the wrong crowd can really mess up your life. It can change the whole trajectory of your life, or with people that you just don't have the same interests. They're not lifting you up. They're not good for you. And I always struggled with this concept of having a best friend. I talked about that many times on my everywhere, all the platforms that I have. Now I'm just like, okay, I know that people come and go out of your life. I know that you might not have one best friend your entire life, but that's normal because life changes. You change as a human being. What you want to do now, you didn't want to do 5 years ago, and people come in and out of these phases at different times. So if you now are single and your best friend is in a relationship, you're not going to want to do the same things. They're going to want to hang out with their partner and stay in every night. And you're going to want to grab drinks on a Tuesday and a Friday and a Wednesday because that's just what you want to do with your best friend when you are single. But then your paths are just going to separate a bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know we sometimes have a hard time. Human beings have a hard time of letting people go and not, because you just always remember the memories and you think about all the potential and you just have a soft spot for them. So you're not letting them go. But that's just going to harm you in the long run. You are not letting yourself be happy because you're just worried about other people. Again, people pleasing tendencies. We all have, some more, some less. But in my 20s, I just wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to be Miss Popular. I mean, I don't mind being it, but that was so important for me. 20s are the people pleaser years. And I remember I celebrated my birthday so many times in my 20s when I didn't want to celebrate it. And I was doing it mostly for other people. And I also think when you start creating different friend groups as an adult and you try to have one big party, that rarely ends well. I mean, maybe it does for you, but it was always like, but for me, it was always like I would invite these different friend groups and then I would try to get them all to get along or become friends, and they're from different walks of life, and sometimes that's difficult because they just don't like the same things, and I'm friends with them for different reasons. Like if you have your fitness friends that you just go work out and live a healthy life, and then you also invite your party friends from 5 years ago, it's kind of hard that that's gonna mesh well. I mean, it could, but it rarely does. But so this year I decided to celebrate just with my closest people, with my fam, and that was the best choice. My birthday month has been wonderful. My family's in town and there's been no crazy partying, just one delicious meal after the other. Even though there's no partying, guess who wouldn't even be invited to my party? Bloating, gassiness, and irregular bowel movements. It happens to everyone, unfortunately, and the time when I could eat whatever I want is behind me and I need some assistance. And why does that happen? Let me educate you real quick. Your body naturally produces its own enzymes, primarily in the pancreas, for digesting. Over time, however, enzyme production production begins to slow down, which is why your body may have trouble digesting food. This is where Happy V digestive enzymes come in. They replace any enzymes your body may be lacking. So take 2 capsules 30 minutes before you eat, and that way they reach your stomach and small intestine before your food does. And they can do their work of breaking down the nutrients. Your body doesn't have to work overtime anymore. No more feeling tired after eating a delicious meal. Just pop 2 capsules before your meal and enjoy. Head over to happyv.com and try it today. That's happyv, V as in vagina.com. happyv.com. And also in those teenage years, I always felt like I don't belong. Hence why I guess I moved to another country. I always felt like nobody likes me. That's so crazy. I always had some kind of weird insecurities. I was also very insecure about my physical appearance. I mean, yes, I was always cute. I had long blonde hair. I looked like I was in shape, but I was not. In my early days, I was not in shape at all. I was skinny fat, basically. That's the official term, I believe. So I did not take care of myself. No self-care. I was partying way too much, drinking way too much, hanging out with the wrong people. I already said that. I remember my sense of style was a disaster. I never knew what looks good. One day I would be a punk rock goth vibe. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. And then the other day I would be a girly little girly girl wearing pink. And I just didn't know who I am. And I'm not saying that you can't be multiple things, but you can sometimes at least know who you are as an identity. Like, what do you stand for? Because if you like everything, it's like you don't stand for anything. And I just think that, like, also if you have so many fucking friends in your life, if you have 50 people as your best friend, nobody is like really your best friend. You're just calling everybody the same thing. I don't know. I was always worried what other people think of me. I just wanted to do things to please others, and that never ends well. You can't be happy if you're constantly just worried about other people. And I think we are all way too harsh when we are, growing up. We're so almost like strict. We are so hard on ourselves. And if you make a mistake, you're beating yourself up for years and you think that everybody's talking about this mistake that you made. The truth is, nobody thinks about you as much as you think about yourself. So when you are drunk in your 20s and you wake up the next day and you have hangxiety and you think that everybody's talking about you and all the things that you did, newsflash, no, they're all thinking about themselves and what they did last night and what other people's may think of them now. So we're all so self-centered and so self-absorbed that we rarely even notice other people. Trust me. I don't know if I said this already. My makeup at that time was not it. Sure, I was a makeup artist and I was playing around with makeup a bunch. I was expressing myself through color, but oh my Jesus Christ, some of my looks were a complete catastrophe. Dark lipsticks. I mean, if you like dark lipsticks, that's, cool. I think that my makeup I just looked so much older, and I always wanted to look older because I thought that's going to make me look cooler. But the thing is, you are most likely going to experience everything in your life that you are hoping to experience. If you're single, you will have a boyfriend again or a girlfriend. You will be in a relationship at some point. So don't rush your single days. If you're engaged and you're like, I just want to get married, but you're never going to get the engagement back, and you will get married and you will have kids and you will have to make them breakfast for a long ass time, and you will have all those experiences and all of those moments. So maybe sometimes you should just enjoy in this moment today, because I was thinking the other day, like, oh, I can't wait to have kids and I really want to have kids. And I was like, okay, that's fine that I want to have kids, but I should enjoy this time right now when I have a puppy. Because a year and a half ago, because Rocky is 1 year now, I could not wait to have a puppy. And now I have a puppy and I'm like, okay, but what about kids? That's what I wanted to say. There were times when I would hook up with someone because I thought that's going to make them like me more, or that they're going to want to have me around more or something. I was such a I was just trying to please like whoever I was with. And I also have friends that just completely change their personality and everything about them as the relationship they're in. And that's never good. Like, you should never change yourself for other people because they should like you the way you are. And if they want to change you, sure, improvements are fantastic. But I mean, like, if you don't like sci-fi movies and all of a sudden you're forced to watch sci-fi movies and you are happily watching them because you just want to make them happy. Meanwhile, you want to watch rom-com. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's compromises and nobody's ever gonna like you more if you hook up with them. If you slept with someone and they don't call you back, it's not because you gave it up too early. It's not because any of those reasons. It's because he just doesn't like you as a person and he just doesn't want to spend time with you. He got what he wanted and he's good. Like, he doesn't need to continue the conversation. So there's a lot of lessons that I learned. I think now I'm 33 years old. I can say that I'm happy with who I am as a person. I think I'm a nice person. I'm trying to be a nice person. I'm trying to be nice. Sometimes I let loose when I'm replying to trolls that I've been having recently, but that's fine. I just think that I'm trying to be a good person. I love Wesley. I love my dog, Rocky. I love my life. I love the community that I built. And I'm so excited for the Boujee Besties Trip in May, 22nd to 26th. I just think I'm on the right path because everything I do is with good intentions. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to be vicious or evil, or I'm not trying to do any like schemes and games. And I'm just trying to do good things in my life. And I'm trying to help other people. I really am. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I have this podcast, is to share what I think. And I know that sometimes, even just one sentence, hearing one sentence can change the way you think about something. So if I can make you think any different today, I'm not saying that what you're thinking today is incorrect, but just like having a different perspective of something. Did I tell you that I didn't dance in public much because I was insecure about the way I was dancing in my 20s? I really don't know who told everyone that 20s are so fucking cool. They're not. It's like a trial. It's like a free trial. You mostly, unless you have a trust fund or a daddy's credit card, you probably don't have money to spend. You have enough money to live, but you don't have crazy money to experience all these crazy things. And in your 30s, you have money. At least I hope you do. You have adult money and you can buy things and you can go to restaurants and you don't have to think about, if you can travel somewhere next year or something. I don't know. I just think 30s are so much fun. Also, what I love about this mindset is that I don't give a fuck if somebody doesn't like me, because you can be the ripest, juiciest peach, but there's still going to be somebody who doesn't like peaches. One more thing I'm happy about at this day and age is the way I look. I like my hair. I like my makeup. I feel like it looks good on me. As I said, I used to wear like crazy shit before and I didn't know if that looks good, but now at least I know it looks good. And I'm always trying to improve myself still. I think if you surround yourself with people that like to improve themselves, like self-improvement vibes, self-care junkies and all that, that's amazing, because that's how you're going to grow as well as a person. I had to cut some people off in my life because they were stagnant and they didn't do shit and they didn't think there's anything wrong in not doing shit. And I know we all have those phases where you are just like living life and going to restaurants, but like, what kind of substance does your life have if you don't have anything to come home to? Not that you have to be in a relationship, but like, you didn't build anything. I really want to build an empire. I want to build such a big, beautiful life for me and my family. I always wanted to have a lot of kids, and I hope I will. I hope I'm going to have, as much as my body is going to handle. I want to have like 4, 5 kids. I was always envious of those big families and a lot of siblings. I love my brother, but I always wanted to have a sister. I always wanted to have a little, girlfriend a sister that is going to, be blood. I would really like that. So I want to provide my kids, future kids, a lot of kids. Speaking of future kids, I am going to talk about egg freezing in one of the other episodes. That's something I'm thinking about, and and I'm gonna have somebody on my podcast to talk about that and all the process behind, because nowadays people are saying, oh, just go freeze your eggs, like, no biggie. First off, it's expensive, not everybody can afford it, and not it doesn't work every single time. So I'm gonna have an expert on who can talk about that, because I know a lot of us girlies are in our 30s and we need to start thinking about these things, because our biological clock, unfortunately, could be ticking at some point, especially like I had this ovarian surgery a while ago. I mean, that cyst, and my fertility might not be as great as it was before I had to go through that. So that's all things that we have to think about. The same way I mentioned those digestive enzymes, it's like you had them before, and then with age and with different things, it's like things change and they deplete. So you gotta make sure to be on top of everything and your health and all that. I also just want to say that no matter what empire you're building, you can do it. I really have a lot of faith in you. And I think that whatever you are delaying, or whatever, hurdles are you going through right now, everything's going to be fine. I have a lot of things that I've been delaying personally, such as folding laundry. Even though I use Sutsy's, I still have to like put that away. Sutsy's is a dry cleaning company. I mean, like a wash and fold and dry cleaning. I use them and I love them, but still, like I'm getting lazy putting that in my closet, because my closet is so messy right now. I need to have somebody like declutter my closet. Is there somebody who does that? If there's somebody who does that, please let me know. Or is that also like or a home organizer can do that, or there has to be somebody like closet specific? I don't know. But I'm so excited about the Boujee Best trip. I think you're probably not even going to be able to join anymore, because the website. Also, I don't really know how to speak English right now anymore, because I spoke so much Croatian with my family. We are stopping with the ticket sale May 1st. I think this is going to drop like end of April. So you might not be able to join this time because you didn't sign up on time, but you can join next time, if there's going to be a next time. I hope it will. But it's so much work, yo. This one was so custom and created exactly how I wanted. My last one in Ibiza and Mallorca wasn't so custom, because I worked with an agency that already had those like little programs or something. They would set it up for you. This time it's so custom. Like everything we eat, everything we do is the things that I personally love to do. So if you're not coming, at least support along while you're watching that type of content. And one more thing, I started doing Invisalign. It's great so far. It's been a little bit over 2 weeks. I'm doing it with Dr. Gabriela Flores, this girl I saw in Miami. I never thought that I would want to be friends with my dentist, but I really love her like that. Like, she's such a cool girl. She is just so cute, and her office is so beautiful, and her staff is great. So I'm doing Invisalign with her. It was a bit weird to get used to it in the beginning, and nowadays whenever I'm going out to eat, I have dental floss, and I have a little mouthwash or dental floss and a toothbrush even sometimes. But my teeth are so clean. They're the cleanest they've ever been. And it's funny because we had to make some little spaces between my teeth, because your teeth need to be able to move. And now my food is getting so stuck between everything, and I need to floss constantly. So that's my least favorite part of Invisalign, but I don't find it difficult to wear. I don't find it so difficult to wear. Also, you will definitely lose weight when you are on Invisalign, because sometimes it's just not worth it. You're not gonna do the whole process of like brushing, and because you can't like put Invisalign on your dirty teeth, because the bacteria is gonna grow even more, because everything's gonna be like closed. You're not gonna eat bullshit just because you don't want to go through the whole process of cleaning it. So far I love it. I think it's great. And just one more thing, keep your standards high. That's what I wanted to conclude this. I'm also just gonna tell you that whatever you want to do in life, you can do. Whatever you put your mind to. I was talking to my parents about, you know, sometimes people tell you you should be realistic, but realistically, if somebody told me 5 years ago, 10 years ago that I would be doing this for a living, and I would be like, you guys are insane. Like, I'm just talking to my phone and hanging out with creating content and creating content and talking about things that I love to talk about, and have a community that likes what I share, and it's crazy. So never, when somebody tells you be realistic, don't be realistic, because my life right now is not realistic. And 10 years ago, when I was in Croatia, I could not even dream of this. So on that note, I'm going to say bye-bye. Boujee Bestie, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to subscribe to my podcast so you never miss out. I release new episodes every Friday. If you love Boujee Best Friend, please leave a 5-star rating and a review. Your support means the world and it helps the show grow. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Coco Beauty, and you can find Boujee Best Friend on Apple, Spotify, and all other major podcasting platforms. Love you. Bye.